Hey everyone, today we're in the custom pack, and I am so excited to show this off to everybody. I really hope eventually this gets picked, if not this round, next round. You saw it in the title, it's our weekly pack submission. And what better way to do it than kind of have a Mantis focused submission. So I know there's been Mantis kind of weeklies in the past. I don't believe there's one that's been one focused on the Konpeito and the Water of Youth. So if you haven't seen my Legend of Mantis Part 2 video where I took the Mantis to the custom pack, it's all about the Mantis and Konpeitos. But the only problem with playing custom packs and funneling a Mantis hard is it eventually kind of falls off. So you need to fill the rest of the team with hardcore scaling, like a bunch of monkeys and T-Rexes is what I ended up doing. And then you can end up getting to the end in custom packs. So I had the thought after all that of, okay, well, this concept would be a great weekly pack submission, and instead of the hardcore scaling, you go essentially no scaling. There's very few things, right? There's food, there's stuff like a couple toys and whatnot, but we have self-scaling in the pack. So the whole goal is to self-scale a unit. So we'll just take the Mantis example. Let's say you get a Mantis early level up, turn 5 or 6. Even if you can roll into it on turn 7. You put the Mantis in, you start letting him build his own stats. You know, you blobfish on him, you get the beta fish on him. There's beta fish pill, so like I said, there is some scaling. You build him up. You get to turn 11, he's close to a 50-50. You Konpeito him once. Let's say you get a blue ring octopus, you're not happy with it. You Konpeito him again, you get a boar, it's game time, right? So that's the whole concept. So now we're gonna walk through the pets in the pack and just I'm gonna single out the crucial ones. So tier 1, I switched out a lot of the pets I usually do because I just didn't want anything that passed stats. So I want all like in battle units. The chipmunk can help transfer over some rice or some cherries or something to help out a little bit of tempo. So salamander is the first self-scaler. Salamander, we all know, was nerfed, so it only works one time per turn. But in this run here, I actually used a salamander. I wasn't sure how viable it was going to be, but it's definitely a good option. Lucky Cat, somewhat of a self-scaler, but I don't think it's going to be too strong as far as like Konpeitos and whatnot. Same with the salamander to a certain extent. You could get a 50-50 salamander with Lollipop and then just go crazy with Konpeitos. I really hope to see that happen. That's the goal of like seeing a tier 2 get Konpeitoed to a tier 6. It's a very difficult thing to do. So moving on, jellyfish, obviously self-scaler. Otherwise, moving on to the tier 3s. We have capybara to roll into a little bit of stats, get a head start. So there's some good tempo things. So there should be some good tempo fights within this pack as you're kind of building it. And then we get to cassowary. So there's strawberry in the pack, and the only reason is for cassowary self-scaling. There should be nothing else that works with strawberry. If there is something else, it shouldn't work well. The wasp, self-scaler as well. And Emperor Tamarin, since there's not a lot of scaling, I figure you could like Mantis kill some beta fish on the Tamarin and save one. It's kind of a different form because you're not necessarily self-scaling the Tamarin, but it's a good way to transfer some stats. And I figured it's something that shouldn't ruin this pack. It should just add a little extra fun. It'll give people just an extra way, if they don't happen to get the self-scalers going, maybe to have an out. Maybe get a level 2 Tamarin with a couple beta fishes pilled on it, and maybe you sell that into a turtle and try to go big turtle for your run, or do something different, right? So going to tier 4s, there's llama, there's buffalo, self-scalers. Now there's caterpillar in here. And the reason I have caterpillar is for the early level ups. I'm not sure if the pack doesn't get picked in the future, or if it does get picked and caterpillar becomes a problem, I do apologize, but I have it in here because I like getting it level 2 and just selling it. So if people get it level 3 and it's a problem, we'll see. But it could be fun. It could be a fun, interesting thing. You invest in a caterpillar, you get the rewards when you get it level 3. So obviously we have the Mantis, and then we just have some pivot stuff, some chocolate blobfish, some pill, Mantis synergy type stuff. So cow, a little bit of scaling, like I said, blue ring octopus, but otherwise pivot stuff, alpaca turkey. And yeah, when we get into tier 5s now, we want to transform our self-scalers into in-battle ability units. So you'll see pretty much all the units here are some form of an in-battle ability. And I think Swordfish is really fun. I haven't used it in the past. I know it's been in a good amount of packs, but I got the Swordfish Pepper combo here. I think it'd be really fun. Transform a couple things into Swordfish, get some peppers rolling. Stonefish as well, I just don't think is the most common. And if you're transforming one of the lower tiers, let's say you get a really high attack Wasp, but it's only at like 25 attack or so, and like low health. If you use a couple Konpeitos and get it to like a Stonefish or a Fire Ant, that low health Wasp, well then it has a lot more value, right? And you're not going to do it until tier 11, until turn 11, when the Wasp is done scaling itself. So there's certain things in here that I thought out that could work out really well. There's probably other pets you can put in here that would be better. I played a lot of custom packs and kept kind of switching things up, so this is what I settled on for now. I'm really confident on it. And yeah, let's look at the heavy hitters, the big boys, and then we'll get into a run, and it's a super fun run. So the Warthog, obviously if we have things like high attack, transferring the attack to a Warthog would be great with the Konpeito, so kind of the same concept as Stonefish, Fire Ant, Swordfish. Sleipnir, same concept, high attack. Gorilla, just getting a big unit, and a lot of this stuff is not going to have equipment, right? So I figured stuff like the Raccoon, the Gorilla, units that give equipment. I didn't pick Reindeer because Reindeer's a little more common, I feel like, in weekly and customs than Gorilla, even though Gorilla's very popular as well. I like the concept of Gorilla. I think it's more fun than Reindeer. Reindeer is kind of the guaranteed melon. Coconut, you gotta work for it with the Gorilla. Boar, who doesn't love the boar? Especially a whale boar. I wish I could put whale in this pack. Self-scaler, ostrich. If you fall behind, try to catch up. Get an ostrich in there. You'll actually see it in this run. This run is a great example of this pack, and I can't believe I got it done in customs. It's very difficult. German Shepherd. If you get a 50-50 Mantis, that's level 2, and you happen to Konpeito up to a German Shepherd, then the whole goal, you just constantly pivot your team, right? You pivot in a Cobra one turn, you sell the Cobra the next turn, or you stack a different Cobra with the attack, right? Because the German Shepherd is only until the end of battle, so it's only temporary stats now. And of course, Octopus, Cobra, super strong. Behemoth is a combination of a self-scaler. Also, if you have a Mantis 50-50 and you Konpeito to a Behemoth, he'll continue scaling beyond 50-50. So you're probably done Konpeitoing if you get a 50-50 to a Behemoth. So it's kind of a cool concept to get over. And at this point, the really strong teams, I believe, are going to be 50-50 units that are level 2 or 3 that you immediately Konpeito into Warthogs, into Sleipnirs, into Gorilla. I think Sleipnir and Warthog might be a little stronger than a Gorilla. Obviously Behemoth, if you get it like 70 plus stats, it'll be one of the strongest in the pack. I had things like Hydra in here and other pets. I felt like some of them might have been a little too strong. I don't know. You know, my weighing the options and stuff, I wasn't crunching numbers and whatnot. I was kind of just going off feel and what I thought was best. I've had a lot of experience running these kind of teams and these packs. It's really tough to test it on custom packs, but like I said, I feel confident in it. So, all the big ramble being said, let's get into the run. And we did not cover food, but I'll kind of cover food as it comes up. The only two food that's important that you need to know is the Konpeito and the Water of Youth. Otherwise, it's just random stuff to help us in battle and some food, some stat food, right? We got a little bit of scaling here or there to just kind of help people push over the hump, or I know it could be abused to like make a strong team even stronger, right? You could just scale a Sleipnir with food, technically, but if you get the proper scaling, self-scaling team going, it should overwhelm all that just single stat food buff, because there's no cat in here, right? So the food stats are what they are. They're not going to be magnified by a pet. So double Capybara into Salamander is incredible, and we immediately get a level 2 Salamander. So it's on, we're scaling, and there's a lobster there and a beta fish that had both Cappy buffs. So yeah, let's get rid of the Weasel. Let's just take the stats. I really wanted to take this Weasel again, but I figured, you know what, we're setting up for a Mantis. We got the beta fish here. If we buy, I didn't realize at this time that the Salamander was only a 1-turn trigger. I haven't touched the Salamander in a long time, so I did not realize that. I think at a certain point I buy 2 battle abilities. But I'm not too concerned with scaling the salamander yet. I want to get the team set. And I really wanted to take that lobster, but I kept thinking, no, we got the level 2 cappy. We just need to roll into a mantis, and then our team's gonna take off. We have 2 self-scalers we can work on. That's a great start. I think the goal would be to get a mantis and then 2 self-scalers on your team, so you're working on 3 units. And then you basically have 3 things that you have the option of Konpeitoing eventually as we roll into the mantis. So that's kind of the goal. We have the 2 self-scalers right now. It's a great setup. We have 2 things that we can feint right away, so I figure why not? The main reason I did this is I figure, okay, I can just buy two start of battle units in the empty slots, feint one of them next turn, and kind of recover from losing the 2 slots. And yeah, this team is so good with the Pegasus. Look how big this stoat is. It's amazing, and we beat the team. So this told me right here, we're in custom packs and we are so far ahead of the curve. We can make this happen. So in custom packs, when I was testing this pack, I was still using like bananas and monkeys, even though I wasn't going to have them in my submission, because it was the only way to really test the pack in customs and keep up with it. So the fact that I was able to get the pack that I'm submitting a clean run in customs, I was very satisfied with. I didn't think it was going to happen. So yeah, let's see where we go from here. We still got the cappy. We got the start of battles. I bought the 2 start of battles last turn, and then I saw it get grayed out after, and I was like, oh, okay. But it kind of works out. We get the start of battle trigger again, and I decide, you know what? It's still kind of early. High health is really good. Let's just lollipop now. It'll probably be the only lollipop we use. 24 health is decent. If we get the attack over 30, we can eventually Konpeito him. Or we just leave him as a strong unit, because we're probably going to be Konpeitoing other stuff first. So yeah, we had these 2 seahorse show up, which is kind of perfect. So I figure, you know, it'll give us our trigger on our start of battle. And why not just take the level up and just see what we get, because we still need some self-scalers. And yeah, we see a behemoth, so no need to get the cappy roll buffs. The behemoth scaling will be better than that. And yeah, let's stagger the seahorse by so we maximize our buffs on our salamander. And now we have 3 self-scalers in. And our team's still strong, but as you see there, they have like a self-scaler with 3 supplemental scalers. That team was incredibly strong. So we see the ostrich, which is our 4th self-scaler. So it kind of works out perfect. We can bring in something to feint and then roll 3 times for more tier 5s and 6s for more stats. Oh, instead, we take the avocado. A lot of times with ostrich, if I get it like this, where it's the weakest thing on my team, my main goal before I start freezing the shop like crazy is just get the ostrich level 2 and then go crazy scaling it. And then you don't have to worry about buying a single chocolate the rest of the game if you get an early level 2 ostrich. Early level 2 ostrich, much better than early level 2 behemoth in my opinion. You can get an ostrich at 50-50 so fast. So buy the anteater because it'll spawn the ant, and that way we don't have to buy anything for a while. And we perfectly get the level 2, and we get a full shop of tier 5s and 6s. So now our ostrich is already stronger than our behemoth. And pretty soon it's going to be stronger than our salamander, which we've been working on all game. So we haven't focused on the salamander completely. We go down to 2 hearts. We haven't focused on the salamander completely, so it's not the end of the world. We probably could have had it at like 40 attack now, even with the lollipop. But yeah, anyway, gonna turtle on the ostrich because the ostrich is our strongest. And I figure there's all these tier 5s and 6s. Let's just take an avocado, take our scaling, take our turtle, and just figure it out after that, because this is a good scaling round. So get a little equipment on our mantis. I figure a couple more turns on the mantis. The game's not gonna last too much longer. So it's about time to Konpeito. I stretched it out 2 more turns past what I wanted to, but we had really good scaling going. So I figured let's stretch it out a little bit. Let's guarantee that we don't completely throw the game just spamming Konpeitos. So we gotta hope that we high roll into some Konpeitos, and lo and behold, there's one sitting in the shop, and we get a turkey, which we probably would have preferred like more in bat. I mean, if we got a fire ant, that would have been incredible. Raccoon would have been good. But yeah, turkey and alpaca I don't think is too bad on your first Konpeito when you have an open slot, because then you can actually get the turkey buff on something. And I knew I was going to have to get the turkey buff on something that, like, I could have brought in a raccoon, but there's no way to scale the raccoon. So I figured, I think I have to bring in another self-scaler. And luckily we find a behemoth. So I figured there's another Konpeito sitting here. Let's just bring in the behemoth. And everything is going to scale itself pretty much. It's a bad round on the ostrich buff, but whatever. We feel pretty strong. And we Konpeito into a warthog. And this is kind of the goal of the pack. This is why the warthog's in here. You have one big unit. The rest of the units are kind of trying to catch up. So if you get a warthog on your big unit, it's kind of perfect. He passes the stats to your lower units, and your team is immediately 3-4 times stronger. I mean, it's not that much. Not that many orders of magnitude. I'm exaggerating, but your team is a lot stronger, right? I mean, look at these stats. We're nearing 30-30 on everything with our warthog buffs. And we completely mow through a Jersey Devil team. So yeah, that gets us to 9 wins. We're really close. And we would like to use some more Konpeitos, right? Have some more fun. So we can obviously Konpeito the salamander, but, and there's a couple things, you know, if we got an anteater, beta fish, those would be decent things to get. And then past that, it'd be kind of tough. So I figured, you know what, it's probably best to just hit a behemoth or the ostrich, because then we can really just, high chance of getting something that's useful and something that's fun. So I had no idea what I was going to do. I just knew it was Konpeitos, so I just start freezing the tier 5s and 6s, and lo and behold, the ultimate high roll, we get 2 Konpeitos. So what are we going to do? We hit the salamander once. I figured if I can go for the beta fish or the anteater, if we don't get it, then I can make a decision. I can Konpeito something else, or I can Konpeito the cassowary. But I wanted fun. Never mind. I didn't want fun. So we have 2 hearts. I forgot about this. We have 2 hearts. There's another Konpeito. We wanted another round of ostrich scaling. I forgot about this. So we throw. Because we're in custom pack, I'm trying to show off a weekly pack submission. So in the end here, I didn't care if I really lost the last round. I just wanted to get these Konpeitos, right? And if the Konpeitos hit, we should win. Because look, our team's strong. We would have won that round if we had the correct order. The team is strong enough. So we have a Water of Youth here as well. We got a couple shots to get something we really want. So we hit the lobster with a Konpeito because, yeah, tier 5 is where we have, like, half of them are in battle abilities, and tier 6 is where we really want to get. But I figure we can Konpeito the lobster, get an in battle ability, and then we Water of Youth the ostrich. So we get the swordfish, and we get the ostrich. Or sorry, we get the warthog. So now we have a warthog chain, which is incredible because we have behemoths behind it. So even if the behemoths, like if one behemoth gets hit with everything, he'll go above 50-50. So it's like the perfect setup we have. And the swordfish, I would love, we have 4 gold. We can roll into a pepper, and then the swordfish will not die on the start of battle snipe. No more ostrich, so we don't need these. And we don't get the pepper, but we roll into a donut. And I figure, you know what? Let's just get a behemoth over 50-50, right? And I thought about going swordfish in the front, but if somebody has a 50-50, it's not going to kill. So I figure if they have like a 30-30 or a 40-40 unit in second, the swordfish will kill. So I think swordfish second position is good. And yeah, we could not be more excited about this team. We have 3 in-battle ability units from all self-scalers, transforming them with Konpeitos and Water of Youths. I forgot that the swordfish was random. I forgot they changed that. I always forget these things. Look at the donut. Over 50-50 on the first warthog. So that means we're gonna get up there. And yeah, we're just mowing through the team. It's not even close. 76-74. We did it. We've done it. So yeah, that's my weekly pack submission. It's called Transform. It's all about the self-scaling and then transforming with Konpeitos and Water of Youth. So I hope you liked it. Let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. I really hope it gets chosen, but I know if it does not get chosen, that means that somebody else put a good amount of work into another pack and they deserve to get picked. So to everybody out there that submitted their packs, I wish you the best of luck. I can't wait to enjoy your packs that you made, and let's see how it goes. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a fantastic day. We'll catch you in the next one. We're gonna pick this one up quick. Pay attention to the Mantis. It's level 2, 3530. There's a Konpeito in the shop. Level 2 German Shepherd is nice to bring in pets and stack them, get the attack. Take the Eagle, the German Shepherd, and we're gonna wait a turn to Konpeito. So this is a slightly different pack. There's a couple different pets than the main run that you saw with the official submission. This is some of my first iterations I was running and really struggling with the pack in custom packs. But yeah, this was like one of the first wins I actually got. So there's the Konpeito into the cow. And we get a Sleipnir, which is just good with the German Shepherd. Just kind of desperate to do anything to hold us over. And perfect, there's another Konpeito for the cow next turn. And the reason I have cow and like blue ring octopus in the pack is at that point, at those tiers, I figured a little bit of scaling to help people like either push their self-scalers to 50-50 or to just scale like a base stat stonefish or something, right? So we Konpeito into Hydra, and there's a reason I took Hydra out of the main submission. I thought it might be a little too strong. But yeah, with the German Shepherd, it was incredibly strong, and I'd rather have the German Shepherd to use like I am with the boar here as like the intermediate pivot. I didn't want it necessarily to be super overpowered with summon units, but that being said, I think I do have a couple summon units in the official submission, so we'll see how it goes. And we face a very scary Beluga Jersey Devil Turkey team. Yeah, so we're gonna go down to 2 lives for sure. But yeah, we're on 9 wins with 3 hearts, so I was super satisfied with this run considering I was on a bit of a grind at this point. I understand, I know Grounded Sap says it all the time when you're playing custom packs all the time, trying to get these unique builds, and this is by no means a unique build, they're like a super difficult build, but I was just having difficulty getting it, like getting the self-scalers going enough to Konpeito, and I finally had a run here where I got one, right? It's kind of like my Legend of Mantis Part 2 and the custom packs. It's kind of the same thing I was doing, but I had massive scaling in that pack, right? I don't have massive scaling in this pack, so the teams would fall off the cliff pretty quick. But luckily, yeah, with our German Shepherd Hydra combo, we get a win in the custom pack. So yeah, that was a really fun one. I have one more bonus clip. Let's jump into it right away. So we're gonna see we have a couple self-scalers going, and we immediately use the Konpeito to get one of our self-scalers to a 4630 level 2 stonefish. And the pepper is perfect for the stonefish. It should trade with 2 units now. We have a level 3 leech with a bison going, and yeah, it's going very, very well. So we had 2 hearts, we go down to 1, which is fine. And the Water of Youth is there, so we use it and we get a cockatrice, is that what it's called? And another Konpeito, so we use it on the stonefish and we get a boar. That's incredible. And yeah, the next thing I think would be Konpeito the bison and keep this run going. But it's custom packs. And ooh, man, those lionfish and custom packs are crazy. So yeah, there's the bison, 1 Konpeito, 2 Konpeitos, level 2 octopus with decent stats. Let's just bring in another self-scaler. Do not need the leech at this point. So I don't know. I guess I had no other option. The leech had good stats. Oh, Konpeito the leech. Yeah, that's the next thing. And it's a level 3 50-50 lionfish. Oh man. That's it. That was it. I thought it was last turn. It's this turn. Wait. No. I was joking. We're fine. Sorry, I haven't watched this clip in a while. We went on the ride together. So, yeah, another win with the pack before it was changed. And yeah, I think it was a ton of fun. Let me know in the comments what you think of the pack in general. I know it's not super min-max. I wanted to leave a lot of options open. That was my goal. So, again, have a fantastic day. We'll catch you in the next one.